Y así es, chavitos, brothers y brothercitas. El día de hoy tenemos algo súper especial porque, híjole, allá en Chicago hubo una misión encubierta, brothers, donde más de 300 agentes de ICE se metieron a los vecindarios en ciertas partes de Chicago y agarraron a más de 65 miembros del Tren De Aragua. Y hoy aquí en la fregadera, brothers, tengo el footage, tengo el video así tal y cual como fue, sin edición nada, el video así tal y cual como agarraron a la gente, aquí para que lo vean y se den cuenta de cómo opera ICE, qué fue lo que hicieron, las horas que tuvieron que entrenar o días antes de esta misión y todas las cosas que se llevan a cabo en este tipo de misiones encubiertas con ICE, brothers. Esto está buenísimo, vamos a verlo, siéntense y pónganse a gusto porque la verdad está muy bueno, brothers. Más de 300 oficiales, agentes de ICE, brothers, y de diferentes agencias, todos juntos, trabajando para arrestar a estos criminales, y hasta helicópteros, hubo de todo.
¿Dónde eres? ¿De Venezuela? Mira la cámara. ¿Dónde eres? ¿De Venezuela? Mira aquí. Venezuela, sí. ¿Cómo te llamas? Johnny. Aquí, güey. ¿Qué? ¿Nombre completo?
Johnny Manuel Caicedo.
Johnny Manuel. ¿Qué se meto?
38 del 96.
¿Cómo te llamas? Reina. Okay, sí. ¿Tienes documentos para estar aquí en los Estados Unidos legalmente? ¿Estás ilegalmente aquí, no?
Entré por la bolsa de...
¿Ah? ¿Tienes documentos? ¿Qué?
Le entregué.
¿Te entregaste? Sí. Como ahorita te vamos a mandar también para tu país. Ah, I like Michael Jordan. You like Michael Jordan? ¿Gusta Michael Jordan? Okay, I'm gonna move him this way. Ven acá. Seriously, you want to move the next guy this way with fucking Homeboy? I don't know Homeboy's name.
Operating out property, like that.
Not yet, stand by. Para los pies. No. Sorry guys. Voy a revisar el línea, ok. Dale ese mero atrás.
Este es el jefe, acuérdense que él estuvo aquí en Los Ángeles llevando a cabo todo este tipo de operaciones de ICE y lo hizo también y las llevó a cabo también, que también lo llevaron para Chicago y ahorita está a cargo de todo este tipo de operaciones encubiertas.
Going out into what could potentially be a really dangerous situation. Tell me how you feel going into this operation with, gosh, it looks to be 300 federal agents and officers across the board.
Yeah, definitely at least 300, but those 300 are needed. And that definitely means that something is up, and that something that's up, it means a non-permissive environment. Anytime there's a non-permissive environment, Allie, the stress level goes up for everyone involved. We all want to come home at the end of shift, but we also are going to accomplish that mission. So merging those two together is very important, especially from a leadership perspective, and that's what I'm looking at right now.
What kind of danger are the guys and girls going into here? Is there a concern for safety going into this operation?
The individuals that we're going after, Tren De Aragua, one of the most violent gangs that the United States is plagued with right now. They traffic in arms, they traffic in humans, they have little regard for life. And anytime you've got that mix in a high concentration in one area, problems can arise. So we know there's weapons. There's been reports anyway of them taking over units in this apartment complex that we're gonna hit via force with guns.
Now, Chief, you've been around the city, you've been going nonstop. What would you say to the people who are against your operations right now when you're going and doing something like this to keep the community safe? What would you say to those people who are saying, you know, calling you guys Gestapo, things like that as you're walking around? What would you say to them?
You know, I think the first thing I would say is, how about you live in the apartment next door to Tren De Aragua members that are trafficking in prostitution, guns, drugs, and taking advantage of American citizens in a violent way. Why don't you live next to them and then see how much of a Gestapo or a Nazi we are?
Eso estuvo muy bueno, brothers, porque yo conozco gente que siguen diciendo que así, exactamente, así le llaman al Departamento de Inmigración, a ICE, que están haciendo cosas como la organización que dijeron. Y es cierto, nosotros como latinos deberíamos de entender lo que está pasando aquí, brothers, porque venimos de países donde este tipo de personas hacen lo que quieren. Ese tipo de criminales, nadie les pone un alto, nadie les pone un hasta aquí. Y sabemos lo que hacen. Los gringos, yo les doy el beneficio de la duda porque dices, pobrecitos, son bien ignorantes, no se dan cuenta de lo que están diciendo, ni saben el tipo de gente con el que están tratando y andan criticando a ICE como si fueran eso, la Gestapo, brothers, y pues para nada. O sea, nosotros deberíamos, y me da risa ver latinos, inmigrantes protestando en contra de esto. O sea, dices, no manches, güey, ¿qué te pasa?
What's the end game here? What's the goal?
Well, the end game tonight, obviously, is to make that area a safe place. We're going to remove all illegal aliens, especially if it's Tren De Aragua, but any and all illegal aliens, and that's going to make this community a safer place. That's from the local level, the Chicago local officials. We've had reports that they even understand that this is a severe problem for the community. So we're going to make the community a safer place, and we're going to send a message to those violent gang members that there's a different gang in town. It's called the Good Guy Gang. The good guys. The good guys are here. We're the good guys.
So the governor saying that you guys aren't doing anything to make the community safer, what would you say in response to him?
You know, I don't think the governor has ever stepped foot near a Tren De Aragua member or MS-13 member or any other bad person or bad thing, so he probably wouldn't understand exactly what we're talking about. It might be way over his head. But don't worry, Governor Prickster, we've got it covered from here, and this is just the beginning. Tonight's just the beginning, and we're going to roll on and on. We are going to turn and burn, Governor. We're going from this one to the next, to the next, to the next, until they quit or are all deported and go home. And as far as him, he can either get on board or watch from the sideline.
No fue como antes. Esta vaina, son demasiado apretados.
We don't have that. Yeah, we don't have these.
No me puedo probar un poquito la respuesta. No podemos. Pero no se puede volver a apretar.
Más rápido, ya no lo That way we don't have to.
Y lo hicieron a esta hora, brothers, para no ser molestados por todos los protestantes que, de hecho, han, pues, arruinado varias de estas misiones porque llegan al lugar y hacen ruido y esto es encubierto. Pues todo el mundo se escapan, los que tienen que ser arrestados.
This operation was one that took a lot of planning, coordinated effort amongst several agencies, huge show of force. How did the operation go as the chief here?
Allie, I think from the very beginning, this operation went well. They trained for this operation for several days, and because of that training and those rehearsals that they did, this operation went very smoothly. They went through that structure, which is a very large structure. You can see it's 5 stories. They went through that structure a lot quicker than I thought, and several apprehensions. It looks like we have a couple of potential targets that we briefed earlier today that we were after. Looks like we have a couple of potential targets. And if that is the case, and we'll let you know as soon as we get those facts and figures, if that's the case, then definitely a successful operation. Anytime you can get a violent Tren De Aragua gang member and their associates off the street, it makes Chicago a safer place.
Now, when you have people saying, you know, what you're doing is not helping the community, and then you see something like this, I asked you this earlier, before the operation, what would you say to them now, seeing what you've seen come out of this apartment complex?
Sure, I would say that those people don't know their community, or even worse, they don't care about their community. And what I will say is the U.S. Border Patrol, ICE, and our allied law enforcement partners, those partners that were here today, we do care about our community, and we make it our personal responsibility to make this community and our nation safe. That's our personal responsibility. These agents perhaps giving their lives, even if necessary.
Now, when it comes to the U.S. citizens, there were a couple U.S. citizens that were held during the operation while you guys were clearing that building. Explain kind of that process. I know we've seen it in the past when Secretary Noem was on the ground. There were 2 U.S. citizens that were temporarily
Watch out.
So what happened with those U.S. citizens and what will happen with them?
Sure. Anytime we're clearing a building, especially during a high-risk operation, this was a high-risk operation. When we're clearing a building for the safety of the occupants in those buildings, we're going to clear the entire building, bring everyone out of that building, whether they're a United States citizen or an illegal alien. We generally don't determine alienage while we're in that building, clearing the building. It's too dangerous, so we'll bring them out and do it in a safe environment. It's safer for the United States citizens and safer for the illegal aliens, and most of all, safer for our officers.
So when someone's back there yelling, you're violating their rights, what do you say to them?
We're not violating their rights. We're making it safe for them so that they can live in a safe and secure neighborhood. And there's no rights been violated today, just the saving of lives.
Anything else you want to add, Chief?
We're glad to be here. We're glad to be here in Chicago. This is South Chicago. You're going to see us some more here in South Chicago. We're going to be coming back here in all areas of Chicago. We're not going anywhere. You're going to see all the Border Patrol agents, all several hundred of us, as well as those allied law enforcement agencies. We're going to be taking it to those violent gang members and illegal aliens. And finally, Allie, CBP Home app. Time and again, we say use the CBP Home app. Use that, get your free ticket home, and you can still have a chance at those immigration documents. If we catch you, you'll never get a chance at those documents.
All right, Chief.
Thank you. It's good to see you.
Congratulations on a successful operation.
Yes, ma'am.
Ahí está el mensaje clarísimo, brothers, de ICE con Trump. Como les he dicho, inmigración es un tema muy caliente. Unos estamos de acuerdo en que corran y saquen a todos los criminales indocumentados. Otros no, otros defienden a los criminales indocumentados que han hecho cosas horribles. Unos defendemos a los indocumentados que llevan más de 10 años viviendo pacíficamente y productivamente en el país. Otros no, otros también quieren que a esos también los saquen. Es un tema muy caliente y al votar por Trump se votó por esto. Ahora, el haber votado por Trump no nada más es acerca de inmigración, era acerca de salvar el país con otras 10 temas igual de grandes y fuertes que inmigración, brothers. El tema de la indoctrination de los chavitos en las escuelas para transgénero, la ideología woke, meterles bloqueadores de hormonas, 1000 cosas que, ahorita no puedo comentarlo porque me salgo del tema, pero no nada más se votó por Trump por esto, se votó por Trump porque si no hubiéramos votado por Trump, todo lo demás, el país se hubiera ido a la burger con una Kamala Harris al poder, la frontera estaría súper abierta y desgraciadamente pagan a veces buenos por pecadores, ¿no? Como dicen, justos por pecadores, en el aspecto de que a veces se han llevado gente inocente que lleva 10 años viviendo aquí o más, pagando impuestos productivos, los han llevado a este tipo, se los han llevado enredadas. Después, esta gente por ley tiene derecho a defenderse y no se los llevan porque pues, han sido productivos, tienen una vida aquí y eso es lo que gracias a Dios, el sistema los defiende. Pero a la gente que tiene menos de 2, 4 años en el país que entraron con Biden, todos esos van de regreso, brothers. Todos los que tienen órdenes de deportación van de regreso. Y obviamente todos los criminales indocumentados que han hecho cosas horribles, obviamente también van de regreso. Una operación gigantesca, brothers. ¿Qué les pareció? Comenten. Esto va a seguir pasando en Chicago, en Portland, aquí en Los Ángeles. Díganme qué piensan. Los leo en los comentarios, chavitos. Y por favor, suscríbanse para que el canal siga creciendo. Comenten, compartan para que sigamos despertando zombies. Y no se les olvide que los amo. ¡Mua!